Need to talk to Pharrell. Pharrell, come to the front of the room. If you're not Pharrell, you know what it is. Keep scrolling. Come on, nigga. This is not it.
I hate politics. Like despise them. It's a magic trick that it's not real. I don't believe in either side. So I think when you pick a side, you are inadvertently supporting division.
We, as Black people, do not have the luxury to be apolitical. We don't have the luxury to say, oh, the system is a magic trick and I'm just gonna ignore it, which is probably really easy to do when you have millions of dollars and you live and work in Paris. But in America, our rights as Black people are under assault right now. We don't have the time. We don't have the luxury to be apolitical. And we definitely don't have the time to be like, both sides are the same. They are absolutely not.
Here we go again. Some more out of touch Negroes. And I want to say this before we go any further. Nicki, if they holding you hostage, blink twice. She look uncomfortable as hell delivering that speech to the United Nations.
Hello, everyone. I must say I am very nervous, so please, well, thank you, Ambassador Waltz, for this invitation. It is an honor to stand on this stage with you and the other distinguished speakers here today to shine a spotlight on the deadly threat faced by thousands of Christians in Nigeria. I would like to thank President Trump for prioritizing this issue and for his leadership on the global stage.
His leadership? As Black people, we got to start taking what these entertainers are saying with a grain of salt. I'm not saying they shouldn't speak out on important issues, but I am saying when they do, we got to start treating them like the drunk uncle at the family reunion. Yeah, he might mean well, but you already know what's about to come out his mouth gonna be some bullshit. I saw clips like the one I just played all over social media. And that's what impressed me most about this whole situation. Y'all came out and did y'all thing. Because one of the things I can't stand personally is the people in our community who be mad at the people who's helping police our community. We came out and did exactly what we were supposed to do. Let our people, Pharrell and Nicki, know. Well, Nicki, but they have big platforms. And when they speak, they've got the power to influence the people that look like us. Do we want the job because we're Black or because we're the best?
Now that diversity's off the table, now equity's off the table, now inclusion's off the table. So that makes me ask myself, okay, so how do we survive? Well, are there Black people in there tonight? And in your heart, do you think for what it is that you do and who you are, do you think you're the best? Okay, so do you want the job because you're Black or because you're the best?
This is a gross, false choice between being excellent and being Black, or wanting to be chosen just because you're excellent and not because you're Black. Black excellence has not been the problem, or a lack of excellence in Black people has not been the problem in college, in hiring, in promotions. The problem has been white bias against Black people, sometimes overt, sometimes from biases those white people can't even see. The point of affirmative action and DEI was not to help Black people because we are not sufficiently excellent. The problem is white bias and making white people say, hey, you need to create diverse schools, diverse workplaces, because that reflects the country and is better for everyone.
Now, moving on from the Pharrell situation. When did Nicki Minaj become an ambassador for Nigeria? This shit was so left field that when I first saw it, I thought it was AI. But the craziest part of this whole situation to me was that her information source is a Trump tweet.
I really enjoy when y'all let me use my political science degrees, because Nicki, why is you at the UN lying to those people? Now, I was just on the internet and found out that this woman, Nicki Minaj, was at the UN lying to those people. Now, according to her UN speech, she was making basically a heartfelt declaration as an ambassador for Nigeria, which is crazy because she's from Trinidad. But we'll get to that in a minute. But making this heartfelt declaration for Christians in Nigeria and claiming that there happens to be some sort of side. Now let's get to the facts of what's actually going on in Nigeria, because I think there's a little bit of stink in the water. Now this is according to Rolling Stone magazine, and I highly encourage you to read this article because it's very short, but it's very to the point. Now, Donald Trump and Nicki Minaj, as well as others, are attempting to state that there is Christian persecution / side going on in Nigeria. Now, there are two very prominent organizations who are reporting that this information is false. The first being the Armed Conflict Location and Event Data Project, and the second, the Council on Foreign Relations. The Council on Foreign Relations and those two organizations have repeatedly stated that the notion that Christians are being disproportionately attacked is a dangerous reduction of the nature of the violence in Nigeria. Now, Nigeria is made up of about 45% Muslim and 55% Christians, which live in a more of a hegemonic society because they live together and they've lived together for hundreds of thousands of years, and they're okay with that. Now, according to the senior special assistant to the president of Nigeria, he stated that both religions actually live side by side together peacefully. What's actually occurring and what you're witnessing is along the sidelines and conflict that unfolds within the communities. And the same thing you can see right here in America. Sometimes conflicts just happen between neighbors. It doesn't actually mean anything about their religion. And the reason as to why this uptick of Christian persecution happens to do with Boko Haram. Now, mind you, Boko Haram is a Sunni Islamist organization, but they murder just as many Muslims as they do Christians because their ultimate goal is to basically overthrow the Nigerian government. And they're doing it in the name of religion, which has nothing to do with the billions and billions and billions of Christians and Muslims across the globe. These are just extreme extremists, but we see that everywhere. Boko Haram is not specifically targeting Christians. They're targeting anybody, any faction that gets in their way.
This shit gotta stop. Nicki, you can rap your ass off, but you don't know nothing about foreign politics? Pharrell, bro, you killing the game when it comes to making beats. But you know good and goddamn well that you out of touch when it comes to the issues of the average black American. And at the end of the day, these entertainers can speak on this stuff till the cows come on. But every time they do, it's up to us as a community to keep checking their ass. I'm out.